So I've had to move from North Carolina twice now because it just got too overwhelming. The first time I went to Texas, and the second time I went down to or up to Seattle. And in Seattle, it rains all the time, and it's pretty nasty. And I'm really not liking it. So I'm going to be heading out of here again, once again, and moving back to Alamance County, actually, which is super awesome. And I'm very excited. But I just kind of wanted to share just a little bit of a personal kind of type of video, I guess, that shows, how overwhelming this stuff can get. With the reason I came out here this time for the pottery, right? The pottery was so easy to see. And I was like, why in the heck isn't this being recognized, right? Well, I recharged and came out here to just kind of chill out and relax, and I've really been able to do that. And now I'm getting really anxious and bored, and want to let you guys know that I am fierce and ready to get back to NC and do the petition. And also, every subscriber is it's a name on the petition as well. So we have over 215, I think, signatures now on that petition. So that's super cool, and I'm really excited for that. And this is about what $3,000 gets you. There's a small, tiny bedroom in there. There's some tiny little bedrooms in here. $3,000 a month. The master bedroom is not much better. It's insane. So I'm really ready to get, that's it. Like, that's the whole place. It's so funny. But that's what we're dealing with. And yeah, I'm ready to get the heck out of here. So it's been fun, and I will never come back to the Pacific Northwest again. Ever again. Thanks for watching. And here, because I do have to leave, I will make a video about the artifacts again, the ones that I'm carrying with me. So I've got quite a few really cool ones here. This one's tough to see unless it's outside and in the sun, but you can see the carving for the eye there portrayed. And there's a whole lot more, of course, but this one's really pretty. It shows up kind of different with the different lights. There's more of like a prehistoric, archaic version. You can see the nose poking out with the slit for the eye there at the top. Now the hair is cut out, perhaps a braid. And how that mouth is really long. And what you do is you tilt that and make that mouth proportioned. It's a guide to let you see the other faces that are on it. You can see how they're really silly with their little smirky guy with the ear. You can see here with the two eyes and the nose. Well, that's just his cheek sticking out. But these are story stones, so as you twist them and turn them more different, you can see how the little characters are coming out there. If I can get it up to the light so that you guys are able to see it. And then they turn into birds on the top. You'll see how the left hand beak is portrayed and how the bird is designed there pointing forward, right? It's a 3D art. You can see how the tail is done with the ruffles. But this is a cool one. Let's check out one more. Very similar to that, we have this pottery piece. You can see how the other eye kind of protrudes, I guess, whenever you point it at us. So it just shows the whole face kind of looking almost at us there. You can see the circle orange eye, and then when we tilt the image away, it becomes this beautiful silhouette here. And that line kind of denotes and shows the roundness and the depth that we should be looking at. And then there's painted faces over here on this side as well. And I won't get too close there, sorry about that. And as we tilt it and twist it, you can see, once you get good at seeing the art, you can see how these eyes are done. See the little carving for the eye? And these are all packed in a rich red clay, preserved carefully. They were packed with garnets and little crystals and things inside of them, which, you know, makes you curious right off the bat whenever you're trying to find some type of artifact, right? And turns out you wash them, and then they have these little faces of these weird little characters on them. You can see how there's little, it's just pottery. That's all this one is. And here, probably on the right-hand side with the nose poking out, someone tried to make a little face there. Although it's hard to see, right? But what's so fascinating is the more that you look at these, the easier they become to see, and things that you thought maybe were unfinished or were not completed were actually completely done. You just weren't seeing it yet. So the best way to learn these is to keep them in your common areas, in your kitchen table or your dining room, on your living room shelf or something. Pretty cool. Another thing to share here is that just like the birds, how there are birds in flight and there are birds in different positions, there are statues of humans that are in different positions too. So you can see how this, what would maybe just be called a hand axe, you can see how the finger markings are done in it. It fits in the fingers in the hand very well. It's really cool to put your fingers there, by the way, where someone else had carved and created something. It's like a stone club. But it turned into a piece of art, and at the end of it, you can see how the longest point is being the nose. Can't see any of the textures or colors now. So you tilt this, and you see how the crack at the bottom here, where my finger is wiggling? Right there is where the mouth would be, and you can tilt this with the color, and I'll get some better light here. So with these, you put them up in the air, of course. And if I put it too high, you won't be able to see the color. But this is indeed the statue of a person, of a human, with, you would think, just a small neck, right? But when you tilt it, you can see how the texture of the hair, and we're looking at the back of the head. And then as we tilt the silhouette here, there's probably a couple silhouettes, but I guess the easiest first one to see would be that one there, right? So it's an exaggerated hair, and it's probably a mammoth trunk as well, with the super trunk. And on this side, you can see how the nose is kind of a 3D nose. If you look where the eye should be in proportion to that face, you'll be able to see that there. And it's at this point that I just want to say, you know, if we can do this today and I'm able to share it with you guys and other people are able to do as well, the people that lived and survived by stone, they didn't have metal and they didn't have Walmart. The people that only survived with nature probably had an idea about some of this stuff as well, right? We're not that special. So just keep that in mind, right? We're only able to see a fraction of what they were able to see. Just a fraction of it. Still working out the details on if we're going to take the RX-7 and the bus, but we'll be figuring that out here. The Kia is 4,000 pounds. At 4,000 pounds, the Kia is a little bit much to take, and I'm going to be doing the valve covers, working on the engine a little bit. I got my gauges installed and stuff, you guys know. New radio. And this is a 11 by 7 or 10 by 17 portable car garage. So I can put the garage behind the bus and really have a pretty good setup. And I would totally live in this thing if I could. And I probably could. I've got the covers taken off right now because I'm working on the lights, doing some electrical work. But I'd have to get Buttercup, my parrot, trimmed. That's a big wasp. He's nasty. Ooh. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Plan is to probably store the bus and the RX-7 and just take the Kia for now and then come back for it. again, like I did before. So I'm going to pack up all my tools and all my stuff back up into the bus and then just drive this with the bird back to North Carolina. And so that's it for now. I do appreciate you guys hanging out and watching with me. You can not see the color, but you can see the silhouette there. And we'll bring it down so you guys can see the color. And this is almost like a gold pan. But it's a very beautiful artifact. And I have to come back to North Carolina to finish kind of what I started. You can see the eye, the orange circle eye at the top of my thumb there. And then this being the nose and this being the mouth. This is the style. And there's also ridge eyes here. These little totem fellows are just designed into their tools. This perhaps was an old bowl or, like I said, a gold pan or something. But you can see the way the color is done. Very beautiful stone. And very creative with the way that they did these. You can see how this, like most of the gateways, the other side is all black. And dug in to these little ridges, all these little markings, these peckings. You wouldn't believe it. It's a pattern. It's a pattern that was created by human beings. That's why this big black burnt section is over here. So, whenever you're out and about, take a closer look at your stones. And you guys already know about this. I'm on the way. We're going to take care of this. Right there in North Carolina. It's going to be ground zero. It has to be, because this place has the most modern, most easy to interpret artifacts. So, all right, thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.